Hello and welcome to Leo with Mary Jane and I on Planet Watch. Leo's my season, August 3rd, baby. So we're excited to talk about
I'm
it.
glad you're looking forward to it. Sometimes these birthdays are a little hard to take, but typically Leos can take them in pretty well. And here we are, all sunny. We're both all sunny and
Hey.
warm. It's going to be summer finally, and should be a good time.
Yeah, you're just now kind of getting summer in Geneva, aren't you?
Yes, well, we had summer. We had a glorious time there in May, and then it all went south, and and the end of June, well, the beginning of the first half of June was really wet. Second half got a little better, and then the rain started up again, and it's been awful
Oh,
until now. So we're just now getting into a real summer mood. Anyway, it feels good, I'll tell you.
better late than never.
Yes, 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 and it's going to be a hot one, so may as well, get in and out and
And
get things
at
together.
least you've not had the flooding that some of the countries
No,
here
no,
have
we've been very lucky in Switzerland, although in the south, in the Ticino, in the Italian part, they've had mudslides and some things like
had.
that going on. Nothing like some other periods that have gone on as early as 2015. There was a monster storm where a lot of uh, a lot of landslides and so on were coming off into the mountains. But no, for the rest, when we look at Germany, when we look at Belgium, when we look at these other places, no, we've been really lucky so far.
You're getting off good. Yeah, you're getting off easy, more or less.
Yeah, for sure, for
And
sure.
when
Oh
you're-
no, there's something to be said for these mountains. We just have the occasional earthquake and like that, but nothing terribly exciting, luckily. Who needs exciting weather, right?
Oh my God. Yeah, we've got more than enough of that here in the Midwest. So,
After
uh,
all, and I saw that monster tornado going on in Canada. They don't have
they don't
tornadoes
have
in
tornadoes in
Canada.
Canada. They don't know
I
what
didn't
to
think
do.
so. I thought that was a real Missouri thing, but there, what do I know? Anyway, everything's
Apparently they,
changing. So,
yeah, apparently they can happen anywhere, but Canada, we don't know what to do. Yeah,
there's
yeah.
not much to do anyway when everything's working well.
Oh,
So,
true. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, we here in the Midwest, we drill for that. We practice, but
Right.
yeah, they're
Well, exactly. We all know where to get under and and keep your eyes open and your head up and just stay out of the way. But no, if you're new to this kind of thing, well,
like,
who knows where that's going.
well, and we're going to be going on vacation soon, and up to the Pacific Northwest, where it has been in triple digits. But this is
Yes,
not
indeed.
something that they experience either,
Ah,
right?
true enough. True enough. I know
Oh,
it's
it's
just
craziness.
bizarre times.
Yeah,
Bizarre times.
it is bizarre times. So speaking of bizarre times, we're moving into
You're
Leo,
right.
and we've got some things to look forward to. What do we have to look forward to in Leo?
Well, the month is going to be turning around actually the lunar cycle because let's look at the big plan. The big plan is that the sun all through Leo is going to be making an opposition, really nasty opposition to this famous Saturn that's been sitting in Aquarius for
Right.
since Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And so finally, it's Leo's turn to look backward and look across the board at this Saturn. And this is something that the Sun in Leo just does not like. Uh,
Right,
the
right.
sun in Leo is pushing us to our extreme exploits. We're going to be doing things we want to do and we've been built to do and we've been ready to do for so long. And it's time to build and discuss and win prizes and all kinds of things. And Saturn is so sitting over there on the opposite side of the board saying, oh, I don't think so. It's not your turn. you know, go to jail, go directly to jail. And,
Good grief.
and it's just going to be kind of rough times for, well, all of the fixed signs, that is to say, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. You people are just going to have to sit back and say, whoa, just wait this out. Our turn is coming, count on perseverance, because fixed signs are very perseverant, and say, okay, this too shall pass, and we'll get into a better frame of mind after the 1st of September.
Right.
That's kind of what's shaping up big wise. There are some nice things shaping up, though. Other things in the sky are bringing us around to a period of reconciliation between mothers and daughters and fathers and sons. Families are getting back together, and they will be the people who are going to be able to discuss things, work out bad situations or tough situations for everyone concerned. Again, there's a bit uh, of perseverance and patience that's going to be called for, but the movement is there and it should be honored. If there are things to work out in your families, why, now's the time. It's really good for that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited about that. Of course, this vacation is part family, so,
Sure,
you know,
sure. Yeah, it's a very, very good time to be doing that kind of thing on all kinds of levels. Uh, Juno too, who's in charge of setting up the family, honoring the marriage state, setting up the family rules and so on, is in a very nice aspect to Chiron, who's the healing planet after all. So this is a time where we can iron out our difficulties and try to get on a more even keel within the family gatherings, family context.
oh, that's a good idea.
Those are actually two directions that I like very much going on through this month. And as the period starts up, we're getting the sun will go into Leo in the 22nd of July. And at that period, and for a few more days, there's a very nice contact going on between Mercury and Neptune. Now, this allows us to delve into our dream state,
Mhm.
put words to our dreams. It's an excellent period for writers, writing, communications, things like that. Excellent period through these first few days at the end of July until a little bit further into August. But very nice for that, and it's an excellent time to be checking out your dreams, waking dreams and sleeping dreams. Uh, Write them down. Try to pull out the messages that are coming to us at this rather special time.
Right, right,
So that's a very nice tendency, I think.
right. Okay. When before we started recording, you were talking about the weekends being rather charged.
Well, they are, and we're getting involved right away, early on. It's
Right.
again coming back to the lunar cycle that's really playing hobs with our sun this month particularly. Starts out big with the full moon that's on the 24th
Fourth.
24th of July. And the problem here is that this full moon is happening as the moon comes right over this nasty Saturn,
Oh,
this very cranky, argument filled, frustration filled Saturn. So this is going to create an atmosphere where arguments can happen.
sure.
Also, the thing is that Venus is at the same time in a sort of funny aspect with Jupiter, so that you might be discussing money, values. You're going to be discussing things to buy. You're going to be discussing things to sell. A terrible time to be buying and selling houses, for instance, anything like that.
Mm.
Just let's put this off until the 1st of September, actually. Um, so that's already setting up a very I'm the word that comes to my mind is cranky. Everybody's irritated with the heat, and the heat is just going right up to our brains and making us not listen to the other fellow and not listening to our own um, lack of resources. People can get awfully carried away with their pipe dreams and not see that this isn't the time to be realizing them, and that's kind of going on all month. So we can talk about that. I pointed up the weekends because this is when these lunar cycles are happening. But in fact, it's something we've got to think about during this whole month. It's just a reality check on one's possibilities and one's dreams, one's desires, actually.
Right.
So the second movement then is happening with the first quarter. During that time, before that, actually, before the first quarter moon, we've got the sun. This is the exact time that the sun and Mercury, that's in conjunction, are going to be doing this opposition. And that is from the 29th of July until the 5th of August. Now, in there in the middle, they're both going to be doing a square to Uranus. Our famous Uranus, this Uranus Saturn square is still happening, and it's still making accidents. It's still making stop start kind of reactions. Both ends are just digging in and holding on to their territory. It's a very fixed sign kind of a thing to be going on. And I don't like this particular thing for travel. Let's think about travel plans from the second
Deal.
until the 10th. You're just going to have to be really careful in lining up your travel plans. If you have travel plans, if you're flying, taking trains,
Yeah.
check, check your reservations. Things can happen. There'll be slowdowns. There'll be cancellations. You're going to run into weather. You're going to run into all kinds of situations.
Oh, great.
So yeah, well, just
That's right
putting it
when we're,
out there.
yeah.
Should stay flexible.
Okay, that's right when we're traveling.
Well, exactly.
Of
Just
course.
stay flexible. Check everything. Confirm everything you can confirm, and just be ready for last minute changes.
Changes and delays.
Yeah, that's
That's
sort
okay.
of the name of the game through there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, yeah, we have to take that one. Then first quarter moon no, the third quarter moon, excuse me, is coming up on the 31st of July. And again, taking us into the square to Uranus, which is always kind of angry. Again, we can be very short-tempered. The summer's famous for that anyhow, being very short-tempered. And with this square to Uranus, things blow up. It's a sort of a boiling soup, boiling milk kind of a thing. It just boils over. And you have to pull back and check what you're saying, check what you're hearing. Just be very careful, be very zen in our approach to other people, essentially.
Absolutely. So, we've got all of these squares, and then we've got creating crankiness. And then it sounds like the moon is adding emotion into it.
Well, yes, exactly, exactly. This becomes extremely emotional well, we all know these full moon and new moon phenomena.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, I'm this particular month, I'm not too crazy about the quarter moons either. They're sitting on top, they're creating the same havoc between Saturn and Uranus and the sun. And it just it's like jumping jacks, we're just going around the square and doing this hitting on every corner. It's like a Monopoly game again gone wrong. And that's kind of what we're going to be living through. So my advice is to just smooth things out through the week as much as you can and be ready for hot times on the weekends where you're going to have to justify everything, all your choices.
Right. Good
That's
advice.
Yeah, that's about where we're going. The new moon, as I said, is on the 8th of August.
Right?
Again, creating, it's going to be opposite this same Saturn and square to the same Uranus, and same phenomena of having to take our turns. Now, the new moon gets us excited about starting things. It's an excellent time, in fact, to be, you can take out all your frustrations on your garden, go plant whatever needs planting, or plant your dahlias or plant your narcissus for the spring, plant whatever you need to do. Go dig in the dirt and fill out some of this anger, this angst
Right,
that's
right. I call
going
it
on.
dirt therapy.
Yeah, I think that's going to be kind of the name of the game, or go swimming. This is
Yeah.
the real cure for all this heat, is to just cool off somewhere and
Exactly.
get close to the water is fine. We've
Yeah,
got the same kind of phenomenon showing up for the first quarter. That's the 15th of August then. We're
right.
sort of out of the woods as far as Saturn and Uranus, but the same quarter moon is going to be square to Jupiter. So we're getting into an area that's very difficult for legal matters. This Jupiter is retrograde all month long.
Oh boy. Hmm.
Well, Jupiter retrograde only means that certain legal matters, certain legal decisions, litigations are just going to be slowed down. Now,
Sure.
this is a typical phenomenon in the summer anyhow. Luckily, all judges go on vacation, and usually you have to wait around to get things signed and so on. But all this to say that it's not a very good time to be signing contracts or starting litigations, getting involved in insurance papers and so on. It's just not a good thing. You're not going to get anything done before the 1st of September.
Right.
The, the same is true to a certain degree on health issues. And I want to point out that this Jupiter retrograde is slowing down considerably people's paying attention to health matters, getting their vaccinations. The new thinking is that, oh my, we just don't need to go there, and the anti-vax are getting their backs up, and we're going to see a month like that where it's just going to be touch and go as far as getting the population vaccinated and healthy again.
I was wondering about this. Things are heating up again, at least here in Missouri.
Yeah, that's why this Jupiter going retrograde now is just slowing down the process of good thinking, of taking care of health issues. This can
Right.
be true on a lot of levels. People who are undergoing complicated therapies are going to see a period where it's stagnant for them. Uh, this kind of thinking, this kind of activity just isn't happening as smoothly as one would desire.
I think retrogrades get a bad rap. They're really
Well,
just
they do.
about recognizing a time to slow down, making sure you've got all your T's crossed and your I's dotted.
Yes, it's true. It's true. And it's not a time of miracles. It's a time to play catch up if you can,
Right.
and go back and see if, in fact, things are copacetic. See, if you're following a right with Jupiter, if you're following a right procedure, if you're following a right lawyer doing a good job for you, if things are going as well as possible in this reduced activity time.
Yeah, I love how the universe gives us these periods where we can catch up.
Well, exactly, exactly. I think this is not such a bad thing. Uh, but as I said, things are going to get a lot easier for us on all these levels. Venus is showing up after the 1st of September. We'll talk about that a little later, but it's going to be helping smooth out some of these issues, especially especially on legal and financial matters.
Okay, good.
So we've got that to look forward to. The only other thing that I can think could be interesting for us is Mercury that's coming into its hometown of for the sign of Virgo on the 12th of August. At the same time, however, it's going to be making a conjunction actually with Mars. They're going to be hooking up in Virgo. Now, when Mercury's in touch with Mars, usually there's a lot of uh, heightened conversational level, we're all of a sudden getting in a place where people are yelling and screaming at each other, or just sort of picking fights. And in Virgo, the fights that are being picked are usually over little nitty bitty problems that don't
Right.
necessarily exist. It's like, why don't you take out the garbage all by yourself? Why do I have to tell you to? And this kind of, ridiculous stuff. But it's enervating. It's terribly frustrating to have to get involved in these arguments. It's just a time to and to smooth out one's language, use a little diplomacy in proposing different things you want done or don't want done or don't want to see anymore. Let's all try to stay a little zen, and especially diplomacy and compassion with the other guy. I think this is important. Seems particularly important in the work on the work site. Maybe this is a good time to be working at home. I don't know, but problems existing within the work function,
Environment.
your
Right.
functional places is important. And also we can see this is a period where physical therapy can be even kind of dangerous. You want to be very careful about who you're practicing with, the exercises you're doing, uh, therapy you're doing, but especially on a physical, muscular level seems necessary.
Yeah.
Somewhat subject to work-related accidents through there as well. Again, around the 12th to the 15th, even more, the 15th to the 24th of August. Just be very careful about where you're putting your feet and your hands and your fingers and all the other parts uh, on the work site.
Right, right. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Um,
So that's about it, bad news wise.
well, and the good news is that there are some periods for true reconciliation within families.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
That's
this
wonderful.
is where we need to practice compassion, practice listening, practice sharing. And Leo is a very good, the whole Leo energy is involved with fair play. This brings out typically the best in our compatibility, our ability to work, do teamwork, get together in team efforts. And this is a sharing proposition. So this is what
Right.
this period can be really good for.
Right. Well, we should be practicing listening, compassion, and all those things anyway. So,
Totally, totally, totally. It just needs sharpening a little bit when we're feeling personally frustrated about things that aren't necessarily going our way or as fast as we'd like.
yes, it's easy to do those things when things are going well, but the challenge is when things are not going well and we're feeling a pull. Um,
Right, right.
you know, I'm talking to a lot of people right now, just feeling this kind of existential, angsty type of pull. Speaking of which, um,
Mhm.
just people feeling on edge, people feeling extra sensitive, all kinds of things going on. So this has been a bit of a challenging summer for some people.
Well, for sure, for a lot of reasons. It's been a challenging year, and a lot of this is just
Yes.
accumulation as well. We're seeing here in Europe, we're always seeing articles about how psychiatrists are extremely overworked these days. It's impossible to get an appointment because people are so anxious. They've been bottled up. They've been cooped up too long. They're not working the way they want to be. Sometimes they're not working at all. A lot of really bad stuff has been coming down for a year and a half now, and there's a bit of accumulation. It's everybody's different. Every case is different, and every story is different. But yeah, there's a lot of frustration basically out there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Well, that does it for Leo. We'll be back in your season, Virgo.
Right, right. I'm so looking forward to that. There's a bit of a nice sky shaping up for Virgo, so we just have to hang in there and be nice to each other
And go to the pool. Go get some water
and go to the
around you.
pool. Yeah, no kidding. Have a good time.
Absolutely. All right. See you in Virgo.
Okay, so long. I'll be good.